Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ray Bernaz. I'm the founder and CEO of Socialibrium. For anyone who wants to find us downstairs, we are at table 34. At Socialibrium, we provide simplified, automated relationship management. I'm going to start by asserting that relationships matter. They're very important, whether personally or professionally. They're so important, in fact, that people are willing to work really, really hard to maintain them, keep up with them, and maintain their networks. The problem is that the tools they have at their disposal currently span two ends of the spectrum, and they don't actually serve the purpose very well. On the one hand, you have the very basic pen and paper. Or, on the other hand, you have the incredibly complex, the CRM systems like Salesforce, Siebel, etc. And what you find is that often it's either too little or too much. And our view is that these tend to be either too complex, too manual, or too expensive, or in some cases, all three. I'll share with you two quick stories. On the one hand, I have a friend who's a hardcore sales guy, been a sales guy all his life. He's used every CRM system there is out there. What he finds is just too complex and too manual, so what he does is he prints out all of his contacts, and he manages his CRM system by highlighting people, crossing people off as he calls them and as he interacts with them. On the flip side, I have a friend who's a wealth manager, has no access to any CRM system, and what he does is he has his secretary put in place Outlook reminders. But more often than not, what he finds is when those Outlook reminders go off to call someone, he just dismisses them, missing the opportunity to stay in touch. So, and I've spent the past couple of years in a combination of management consulting, banking, and technology management, and I've tended to fall in that left-hand category, where I manage spreadsheets and to-do lists, to varying degrees of success. So we think there's a better way. And at Socialibrium, what we do is we automatically consolidate and take advantage of those interactions you have every day through phone calls, emails, text messages, and meetings. Put those in one place where you can easily find them. And then based on the preferences you've set, depict the health of those relationships. So depending on how frequently you want to be in touch with people over which channel, we'll provide a heat map for you to show you which of those relationships needs the most attention. Earlier this year, we launched our BlackBerry product called Scale. And I'd like to give you just a quick look, a couple screenshots. And if you guys would like to see a live demo downstairs, feel free to grab me afterwards. So when the user opens up the application, they're presented with this initial heat map. So you can see their customized groups, and based on the channels that they've defined, there are different color codings. You can see the percentage of that group that they've come up with. And you can very quickly identify in this clean interface which of the groups need the most attention on a red, amber, green basis. Drilling down, you see the people who are in those groups and which of those individuals need attention. And then you can get a consolidated view of all your interactions with those people. So how long it's been since you were in touch, any important reminders like birthdays, anniversaries, business anniversaries. And then rather than having to troll through your inbox, your Outlook calendar, and on multiple different places to find your last interaction, it's all right there for you. Our BlackBerry version, Scale, is currently in use across a variety of different companies, everything from Fortune 500 companies who participate in our beta to now individual users who we've brought on as paying customers, who tend to be small business owners, individual salespeople, freelancers, etc. And what they're telling us, and the reason that they like Scale, is that it's automatic. Right? There's no need for them to sit there and manually log all the interactions like they do in a CRM system or in their to-do list. And it's dynamic. It automatically updates for them, and it's real time. So they don't have to sit there and sync or wait for it to go back to a server. Everything sits locally. And more importantly, it's simple to use and understand. Anyone can pick it up, and if they can read a traffic light, understand which of their groups need the attention. And for our enterprise users, and we're finding from the IT departments implementing this, it's easy to integrate. Right? This isn't something that requires a lot of back-end support or infrastructure. It's easily downloaded by the end user. It's locally on the device. And most importantly, it's secure. We're targeting our first customers have been financial services firms, law firms, all of whom care immensely about their client interactions, and in many cases are regulated and can't share this information. So the way we're distributing it for our enterprise clients is primarily through direct sales. So based on my past decade in kind of the banking world and financial services, it is leveraging those relationships. And those have been how we primarily brought on our first enterprise users. But we're also in BlackBerry's app world, which is how we brought on our first set of paying individuals. And the third distribution channel we're looking into is carriers. So partnering with Verizon Wireless's, landline, fixed line carriers, mobile carriers to help distribute this. We currently have a subscription-based pricing model. So we have a free trial, where then on a retail basis we offer a monthly subscription of $15 or an annual subscription of $150. And then we're offering for our enterprise clients clearly volume discounts and additional services. So one client, we're working on a white label version that wouldn't be branded to scale, but would be branded for that bank. What we're looking for today is to expand the client base. We're looking for some enterprise clients to bring on board, distribution partners, be it telecom carriers or mobile carriers, and potentially in the next 6 to 9 months we'll be looking for venture funds to help us grow. We'd like to take the mobile application and build a client server support model where we can integrate IP telephony solutions at companies as well as integrate into existing CRM solutions. So in summary, Socialibrium helps automate and simplify the way you manage relationships, and it turns the data that you generate in your day-to-day interactions into information you can use to better manage your relationships. Any questions?
You said you didn't have to input the data. Well, how does it get there?
The tool automatically takes the information out of your call log, your email inbox, your calendar. So you have to set the application up initially and set your preferences, but once you've done that, it automatically tracks all your interactions.
So like if you make a phone call on your phone?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you don't, and you can do it from the tool or you can do it outside the tool. If you send an email from your desktop and that email account is synced with your BlackBerry, it automatically gets imported. There's no manual intervention required.
Very cool. And what do you expect your revenue to be like 5 years from now?
We see this as being a big company. Salesforce.com, I think, did $1 billion in revenue last year. The CRM industry is estimated anywhere from an $8 to $12 billion a year industry. So I wouldn't want to limit it to a fixed number right now.
And what about calls from a landline?
Right now, we haven't integrated landline calls. We're targeting this to really the mobile professionals. But as we develop a kind of a client-server type structure where it's hosted centrally in say companies behind a company's firewall, we can interact with their office phones, their IP telephony system, and that's what we look to use the additional investment to help fund and to develop.
So it makes sense to make all your client phone calls from your cell phone.
Exactly, and that's what we're finding most of our initial users are those really mobile salespeople, wealth managers who are never in the office, who are always out meeting with clients, management consultants, lawyers who are always on site with clients.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, guys.
You can see Ray in booth number 34. Very exciting.
Thank you, guys.